Hello guys, my name is Vincent Walker. This is the EVERGREEN. This is my third layout design due to my wife, my lovely wife, new house smell. I guess she had a inkling for another house, the third house, and I guess I kind of put my foot down saying this will be the last one. I don't want to build another layout. What you see here is my rendition of the Houston to New Orleans route. Since I can't get exactly what I want, that's why we're gonna call it a rendition. But certain areas have certain details that remind me of certain areas in my childhood. Love the Mopac. That's a train we used to take back in the day from New Orleans to Houston, or Houston back to New Orleans, or Baton Rouge.
But why Mopac though? There were others. There were other railroads like Santa Fe, Burlington Northern. Why Missouri Pacific?
No, in the Houston area, you had several different railroads. You had the Katy, you had the Rock Island, Burlington, Santa Fe, and Southern Pacific. And I just wanted to capture several of the railroads other than my main railroad, which would be the MOP. I used to see the Santa Fe Texas Chief all the time when I used to go to school. So that's why you may see the 1516 on my layout, and a couple of other Rock Island trains, the passenger trains, and freight trains, and Burlingtons, which I used to see when I was a kid. So basically what you're seeing is a lot of the Houston area running.
So before, I used to hear that you worked at a theme park called Six Flags, and that you ran the train at the theme park. Did that inspire you?
Oh yeah, well, I've been fortunate, or you want to say blessed. I've been able to do a lot of things a lot of folks have not been able to do. I've been able to be the fireman and engineer on the Astroworld steam train. I used to volunteer for the Galveston Railroad Museum. And at one time I was involved with the group trying to restore the steam engine 982. I was the chief designer. That's my background. I'm a piping designer. I design oil refineries and chemical plants.
So is there also a expected time where the layout's maybe going to be finished? ETA on how soon it'll be finished or anything like that?
No, not at this time. Since I'm the only one working on my layout, it's going to be a slow go because I'm particular about what I want. I'm a detail-oriented person. If it's not right, I don't want it on the layout. So other than me asking questions of my fellow model railroaders, I'm just basically doing it by myself right now.
So are there any good friends that are in the hobby that you know of that are well known in the N-scale industry?
I have several of them. One of them is Gordon Bliss, N-scale Santa Fe layout here in Crosby, Texas.
So what are the hobby shops where you get your N-scale supplies from? Where do you get those?
There are two of them here in Houston. G&G Model Shop. They have a lot of little detail stuff. Chains, little stairs, motors. Because they're by Rice University Engineering School, they would have a lot of that stuff. The other hobby shop would be Papa Ben's, where I normally get a lot of my paints, my cars, engines, you name it. They're just a total train store. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of the current projects in the layout. One in particular is my fire station, rendition of Houston's fire station #1 at one time. I guess it's based off the 60s, 70s station. It's going to be a 4-bay station, and I'm going to add a couple more details. We're looking at EVERGREEN scale modeled styrene, number 9104. All right, guys, let's also look at my yard tower. It's going to be a rendition of New South Yard's North Tower, 117. The original tower was constructed back in 1956 or 57. They're still trying to find out the original date. Based off of the narrow tower that was there at one time, I made it a little wider. It's my rendition. And I'm going to have a decision on what color I want to paint it. I'm going to have to add my windows Other than that, I love it. What you see here is my styrene baggage loading area that I'm working on, along with my Northeastern Scale Lumber crossings. I'm also going to be using that on my road crossing also. I'm also going to be detailing out my sidewalks along with my truck ramps. It's all going to be painted concrete gray. And then for my roads, I'm going to use a 3M patch plus primer and then go over that with some type of blackish color asphalt spray. On the south end of the yard, I installed my gantry lights, 3 light signals on my arrival and departure track. North end, I have not finished yet because I am been waiting for my other signal. They ran out. I'm installing my signals on my layout. They're all fixed. They're not operating right now, but they're going to be installed, so when I do get my appropriate signaling kit, they should be working. We're going to go ahead and look at the outlet part of the passenger yard, and you see my tower and my semaphore lights, along with my water tower. We see my construction around my helix. That's completed to a point. Eventually I'm going to be installing my helix, and my friend Gordon should be helping me with the design. Projects completed is my Microtrains 12-1 sleeper custom painted with details. Modifying my double Dutch doors. I also added my safety chains, my air and signal hoses, and steam piping. This is my current project that I'm working on right now, my Santa Fe F7s, under several stages of painting. I'm still painting several coats on the units. I'm going to do some more detailing. As of one note, you notice my Mopac F7, I removed the fuel tank skirting. I'm going to be doing the same thing with the F7, Santa Fe F7s. I have a Overland brass 2-track bridge. It's going to be between a lake or a stream. Eventually I'm going to fill that in. As you can see, I got my girders on both ends, and I have my supports right there in the middle. And I just completed my re-rail tracks on the bridge. Those are the current projects that I'm working on the layout. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.